I think one of the greatest blessings that's ever come into my life is to be able to do this work that I love. In the world of counseling, we go everywhere. From today, we're going to talk about sports psychology help for people, to grief recovery, addiction recovery, relationship. We cover it all, But today is very special because this segment is so much to my heart. At 5 years of age, I became a basketball junkie. Played obviously high school and then went to Syracuse University, played for a couple years there. Obviously was never good enough to get very far, but it was an awesome experience and I fell in love with it and graduated with a degree in sports psychology. I've been working as a sports psychology coach for, 40 years now. And, one of the things that's really changed in the beginning, I was working with mainly just pros, professional athletes or Division I college athletes getting ready to go to the pros. And I wrote a book on how for mental fitness for professional athletes, but it also works for very competitive weekend golfers, tennis players. Now pickleball is huge. I'm working with high school athletes right now, college athletes. But one of the fascinating things that's happened over the years is that 40 years ago, I never would have imagined that I'd be working with highly competitive amateur athletes like female golfers and male golfers, female and male tennis players, like in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and even older. And they want to get better, and so many things that block us for getting better as an athlete is in our brain. Sports performance anxiety is so normal. You hit a bogey, you hit a double fault on a serve, whatever it might be, as you're an adult and you want to get better, or for some reason when it comes to this time of a match, whatever that might be, you start to shut down mentally. We go through all of this right now, helping you build confidence, giving you tools to use during your performance, not just while you and I are working together or not just when you're rehearsing in your mind. We actually have tools that we give you that you can use in the moment of stress on the course, on the court, whatever it might be. There's professional, shouldn't say professional, want to be professional baseball players in their 60s, 70s, and 80s that have come to me because they want to maximize the last 5, 10, 20 years of their life in that sport. I mean, they're very serious, right? So if you fall into that category and you see there's an area that isn't working for you, I worked with a high school athlete recently that couldn't hit curveballs. We got him hitting curveballs, right? I have some tennis players that play at a very high competitive level in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And a couple of them were just out of control with a double fault. They couldn't handle it. They would go to the next service box and just beating themselves up. Or after a loss, I should have done this. How could I lose to that type of a player? This is all mental sports performance. And then the other thing is, we look at what your weaknesses in your sport is, whether you're high school, college, or an athlete that is highly competitive in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. We all have weaknesses, and so we look at those weaknesses. Now, I don't do a thing with your stroke. I don't do a thing with the way that you approach tennis, golf, bowling, anything whatsoever. I worked with a competitive clay pigeon shooter for 3 months. Oh, my Lord. We brought his ranking up and his performance up dramatically. Let's work together. We always are looking to work with athletes. It's one of my loves. It's one of my joys. Reach out to me at talkdavid.com. Let's have fun in your final years, if it's 10 or 20 or 30 years left in your sport, or if you're a high school student wanting really to make it into the college, let's work together. And I'll give you every tip and tool that you can read in my book, but I'll make it personalized for you. Go to talkdavid.com. Underneath specialty courses, you'll see sports performance. Click that. You'll see everything that we do. I look forward to hearing from you. Let's have a blast. I still play tennis. I still play basketball. I still do all those things I love. I want you to be able to do the same. Have a great day.